All right. It looks like we are live. Hello, everybody, and happy birthday, America. It's kind of interesting. I share a birthday week with America, but my cousin is also born today, exactly a week after me. So interesting that we all have these kind of birthdays related to the 4th of July. I have another friend that's born on 4th of July today, so we're sharing birthdays with America. All right, looks like we're all good there. So, hello everybody, this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. What we're doing today, we're talking about the 4th of July forecast. So, 7 p.m. is usually when I like to start my live stream. Some technical difficulties today, but I got everything working. About 15 minutes late, but that means we're just going to be cutting it not a full hour. So today, I do want to keep this about an hour and end right about 8 o'clock. Because 8 o'clock, that's when the 4th of July show does start. So, I want to make sure everybody is ready to go for that 4th of July show at 8. And I think the fireworks do start at about 9. So, let's get started here. So, what are we looking at? Well, besides the happy birthday balloon for me and America, let me get this down. All right. So this here on the national radar, we see this system. Looks pretty big, but it's moving mostly south out of the tri-state area. And what I would like to do, we are the severe thunderstorm tonight. Is that what you mean? Where are the severe thunderstorms, Raymond? I'm not sure what you mean by your sentence. And hello, Delvin. So looking here, we have these storms moving south. We had some storms. And Raymond, if you're talking about severe thunderstorms overnight tonight, there are no thunderstorms at all for tonight. So these are all dying down. The sun is setting. The energy source that feeds these thunderstorms is gone, pretty much. And that's what's pretty much allowing these to just die off. Now this area here, if you're heading maybe Delmarva area, Virginia, maybe a little bit longer just because there's a lot of energy there that it has to spin out or kind of rain out. But that's there. Now, the big 4th of July fireworks show in the tri-state region is the one at New York City. So, look at that. It just fades. That's fascinating to me. That just fades away. For Monday night, what do you mean? Oh, hello, Pete. Nationwide severe thunderstorms. Not sure. We're not talking about the nation right now. So, that is the radar, the national radar. If I go to radar scope, there's just nothing out there right now. Now, a little bit more off to the west, going into Pennsylvania. And also, if you notice, K-Dix right there, Mount Holly, that radar station's still down from yesterday. So right here, this is what we were just looking at on the bigger radar, the national radar. This, if I put it in motion, you're going to see is moving pretty slowly. Hello, Pete. So, a slow mover there. That's probably what's prompted that flash flood warning for, what was that, Reading, Pennsylvania? Yeah, right near Reading. I think that's how you say it, Reading. Let's see. Central Berks County in eastern Pennsylvania until 10:15. Because if you just notice, it's stalled right there. And as Raymond, as you're mentioning, I think that's what you were talking about, the stalled right there. Not sure if you're talking about this one, Raymond, but This is stalled right now. Prompted that flash flood warning. And nationally, I'll just do it for you. Nope. No tornadoes. A few little spots of some severe weather. But really, it's not a lot of things happening out there. This one's kind of interesting. And let's see what's going on here. A Marine statement. Not the military Marines. This has to do with the Great Lakes. Special Marine warning. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of severe weather going on or weather alerts. So, I just can't get Mount Holly. They gotta get their stuff together. They can't have a radar station down for a week or two. I mean, granted, it's only been a couple days. Oh, interesting. Well, we're not talking about that. We're staying within the Northeast. But here, specifically, New York City. Actually, I'm not sure if anybody knows. Does anybody know if the fireworks are going to be going in the Hudson River or the East River? The Hudson River is here. So, right where I'm pointing the maps. Oh, I am in the way. Ha. So, right here. This is Manhattan. Down this line that separates New Jersey from New York, that's the Hudson River. And on this side, this is the East River. So I'm not sure which side the fireworks are on. It's either going to be one of those two rivers, the Hudson River or the East River. Not sure which one, but if we just freeze the radar on the current, look, there's nothing out there. Clear skies, but it's still humid. So for right now, yeah, the last heat advisory is for tomorrow. Because, Raymond, like we were talking, that cold front that's coming through on Friday, that's really going to break up the heat and the humidity. It's still going to be hot tomorrow and Friday with the humidity, but then the humidity kind of disappears for the weekend. And we got a pretty good weekend coming up. So let's see. Actually, let me go back here. We're going to go into Central Park. Let's take a look at the current conditions in Central Park. Central Park, New York. Let's just see what the temperature and dew point are for Central Park. Maybe. Come on. Also, do I look a little bit too pale right now? I think I look a little bit too pale. Let me see if I can fix that. Hopefully this doesn't screw up anything. Nope, can't fix it right now without shutting down the show. You like the cooler temp? Oh wait, cooler temperature for weather temperature or cooler temperature for lights, you mean? Because I think right now the lighting is a little bit too cool and I should warm it up a little bit. But I can't fix anything right now just because the show is live. Albany's at 94? You sure? Yeah, let's see. Why? I hate this stupid autocorrect. I want not Keno. Kenx. Forget about the airport. Albany. Wow. Oh, I was thinking the radar station, not the radar station code's ENX. Ha. 93 right now at Albany. Wow. And the sun's out, too. That's the interesting part. If we go back to Central Park, it's mostly cloudy. So that extra sun that came out is what's popped up those temperatures. Yes, the cooler air temperatures is what I would like as well. Although I like 80-degree weather, I don't really like the humidity. So 80 degrees with maybe 50s for the dew point, that's my favorite. And there's that heat advisory that you were talking about. Ending Thursday. We've got the storms coming Friday. But let's not focus on the National Weather Service forecast. Let's focus on my forecast. So here, let's check out some things. When does this start? This starts 8 p.m. So at 8, excuse me, at 8 p.m., the GFS is not doing. This is what we talk about, something called how the forecast models initialize. So the GFS is initializing horribly right now. It's saying at 8 p.m., there's still going to be a lot of rain around the area. Even though this is still the 3-hour rainfall total, it's not really initializing too well. Yes, Raymond, I know you are a freak for severe weather, but severe weather, again, Raymond, is not good. You do not want and should not want severe weather. Joe Chaffee, I'm sure, has talked to you about that, too. All right. So we got this still lingering through 2 a.m., and then it finally breaks at 8 a.m. So here, again, the GFS is not initializing right. A lot of the other forecast models I was looking at, my own personal forecast is after really 8 p.m., there's no precipitation. It's going to be a good night in terms of precipitation. We're still going to have a little bit of humidity left over, so it's going to be kind of a damp, little bit sticky night. Also, maybe some fog that we have to deal with as well. Yes, it depends exactly where you are, Delvin. Sometimes, or for Albany area, right there, sunny skies right now. So that's where we're going to have a nice clear sunset. Where I am, actually, let me check. You guys should still be able to hear me, even though I am off camera. Let me just take a peek. Cloudy skies. So outside the studio right now, I got cloudy skies, and I think I stepped in something sticky. So cloudy skies where I am, but that'll be breaking very shortly. Actually, let me go back. Let me just check what the satellite looks like as well. Yep, look at that. So I'm in the tri-state region here, which still has a lot of cloud cover. Albany, some little patchy clouds, but there's a lot of clear air there. And once you get into Massachusetts, nice clear skies. And let me put this into motion. Let's see. That's that stationary storm. See it just bubbling up the clouds there? I find that fascinating. But let's get back to the GFS. We're going to look at the other forecast models too, but the GFS already doesn't have my highest hopes just because it's initializing poorly. All right, let's see here. There again in the evening, it's showing, actually it's not showing anything really for the afternoon on Thursday. Yeah, maybe a little tiny bit there, but we do have a lot more, especially once you get up near central New York, the Finger Lakes there. That's the cold front that's going to be coming through. For tomorrow, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking at here. That's Friday or Thursday evening. We go back one. So it's starting. This is that cold front starting to come through. And let's take a peek at the Storm Prediction Center, what they're saying, since you're talking about the, marginal risk for tomorrow. Yeah? And that's kind of what the GFS was showing too, that cutoff right there. So marginal risk for most of New York State. And then just a little isolated thunderstorm area once you get to the Hudson Valley, Long Island. Once you especially get up near Boston area, it'd be a thunderstorm chance, especially even if you're out in the Boston area. So that's GFS. Let's go a little bit further. Now this is the picture for 8 a.m. Friday. That cold front's really in place. And now you can see these thicker lines, darker areas. And I want to point out one thing. This is coming from meteorology class. So the way we would draw where the cold front is where the kinks. You always want to talk about getting kinky. Got to get kinky with it. So we got a kink right here. That's one point. There's another kink. There's another kink. There's another kink right there. So when we connect these dots, that's where our cold front is. And I guess I'll connect it to that kink right there. So that's going to be the cold front. So as it passes, there's a lot of energy, it looks like, with this. And with a lot of energy and a decent cold front, primed air with heat and humidity, yeah, there could be some thunderstorms, especially going into Friday. No, Raymond, drone's not going to be in the air. Too dark at that point. If I can't see the drone, I'm not putting the drone up in the air. But tomorrow I may have some drone footage too, so check back on the channel tomorrow and we'll see if I can get that drone footage edited tomorrow. Because I filmed this, what was it, yesterday? And it was supposed to get out in a video, or no, I filmed it Monday and it was supposed to get out in the video Monday. That never happened. But I'm going to try and get this special drone footage out for you tomorrow, if I can get it edited. No hail, maybe not. There may be a slight chance of hail, especially when you have thunderstorms. Even yesterday, when I was doing the Games and Storms live stream, there was hail we were looking at too. And even earlier in the afternoon, there was hail then as well. So the hail, I believe it said, was a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 of an inch size hail. So not the biggest hail, but that still would hurt if you get hit by it. That's like a paintball, getting hit by a paintball. Yes, well, the drone was fine. The controller was not. That was the issue, because the drone had plenty of battery life, and what I can do, because I have 2 batteries for the drone, I can still live stream while I'm not flying the drone. So while battery's dying on the drone comes down, still live streaming from the controller, swap out the batteries, drone goes back up. That's totally fine. The issue is if the controller dies. That's the big one. And yeah, keep that in mind, especially for Thursday. Not really too much on tomorrow for the severe weather, but keep that in mind again for Thursday. With severe weather, there is a chance for some small hail because that's part of the definition of a severe thunderstorm, is there's hail in there. And my day was pretty good. So this was still kind of like a repeat of my birthday last Wednesday. Nice day in the morning. I happened to be off again. I actually went out to see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom today. I know it's been out for a little while. And usually those movies, the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies or more recently just Jurassic World, come out around my birthday. So I usually try and get out around my birthday to see it. And overall, I did enjoy it. There's maybe a different way I would have ended the movie, but I did enjoy the movie. Rotten Tomatoes said I think like 50%, which I don't agree with. I would have given it a solid 8 or 80%. And then I went to try and get gas, but the gas station was closed. 4th of July is a national holiday. All right, so that's Friday. Now, once we get past Friday, the forecast becomes redundant, but that's a good thing. Because, excuse me, watch this. Once that makes its way through, we're now at about 2 a.m. on Saturday. Makes its way through, and watch that high pressure. High pressure's making its way in. So this is, actually skipped a day. So Saturday, right there, high pressure in place. Sunday, high pressure in place. Monday, high pressure still in place. Tuesday, now this is just the next chance of some little showers. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes takes the average rating. I did not know that. But I enjoyed the movie. Did anybody else watch that movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom? All right, where are we? We're on Tuesday at about 8 a.m. So this is showing the high pressure moves out already. Maybe some little showers around central New York. And then this could maybe come down. Another cold front it's bringing out here. So maybe again some afternoon or evening storms possible for Tuesday. But then once that makes its way out, this is the picture on Wednesday. And that's pretty much the end of the 7-day. But a little teaser. Thursday morning, but watch that. We'll worry about that next week. So that was the GFS. Now, excuse me. Let's skip the Canadian just because we are running a little bit shorter on time. Started late and I want to end by 8 so we can get to the fireworks show. So we're going to just jump to the Icon model here. Raymond, I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't sure if Rotten Tomatoes was taking the professional critics review versus the audience review. Oh, this one is the 18Z. We're going to go back to the 12Z Icon because the 12Z goes out to 180 hours versus 120. So let's rewind. All right. This initialized better. So this is at 8 a.m. tonight, right? 8 a.m. tonight, 8 p.m. tonight. And the precipitation is pretty much gone. That's good. So the icon's doing better. Raymond, stop stealing my show. Let's see. Thursday morning. Okay. A little something there. Nothing really as intense until this is 15Z Thursday. Still not as intense as what the GFS was showing, but it's showing some afternoon storm chances. And again, as we mentioned with the Storm Prediction Center, that marginal risk for the northern 2/3 of New York State, that's where we're going to see maybe a chance of some severe weather. Where am I 12 hours behind? Okay. I thought I pressed the wrong button there. So we got that. Actually, for this, let me switch sides. All right, let's see. I can see a tiny bit better on this side. There's a light like right in my view here. So this is the cold front. This, again, is coming in for Friday. I see what you meant. Yeah, you didn't know it's actually 7:43 a.m. right now at night? All right, that's pretty intense right here. And this is about 2 p.m. on Friday. So both of these forecast models are showing about the same thing with this cold front that's pretty long too. Cold front's pretty long there, and it looks pretty intense too. So this is what's prompting the Storm Prediction Center to maybe give some marginal to slight risks. I don't really think anything with an enhanced risk, but slight risk, I would say, is what they would put out for Friday, unless they did already. Let me just go back. So marginal risk for right now, for Friday, but you never know. Maybe that'll extend a little bit more, maybe go into a slight risk. But icon does show the same thing. Look at that high pressure right there. Right there. Let's follow the high pressure for your day on Saturday. Nice day. Sunday. Nice day as well. Even going into Monday. Nice dry day. We got a nice stretch of a weekend. Beautiful weekend. Lower humidity too, which is going to be a good thing. And then this is Monday. Still a very nice picture. Going into Tuesday. Now it's not as intense as the GFS. Excuse me. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, skipped ahead. I must have pressed the buttons while I was coughing. I think, Raymond, you're on to something there too. National Weather Service's GFS European Hugger. So, yeah, those are the two main global forecast models. GFS European. They go out, GFS I think goes out, and the special version of the GFS called the GFS-X, extended GFS, that goes out the longest there. So, yeah, those are the two big ones. GFS European. Depending on time, so we only got about 14 minutes left. We may show the European. But that's why I like to take a look at numerous forecast models. So like the GFS, the Euro, NAM, ICON, excuse me, RPM is another one I have access to, which is a proprietary one from IBM, which is typically what you see as the Futurecast on television. And then IBM has another brand new forecast model, which we've talked about throughout the year. From IBM, it's run on the Watson supercomputer. It's the Deep Thunder forecast model. The Deep Thunder forecast model seems to be a pretty good model. It's not always right, but when it's wrong, it's not as wrong as the other forecast models have been. And we were tracking this throughout the winter with those 4 nor'easters. Even using the Deep Thunder, it officially went live with Irma last year. That's when we started being able to use this Deep Thunder forecast model run from the Watson supercomputer. So that's when I really started looking at it. And that forecast model, I did a little comparison. It wasn't that far off. And when you get to that southern tip of Florida, 50 miles can make a difference between East Coast and the West Coast. 50 miles off for a track of a hurricane is actually not that bad. That's pretty good for only being 50 miles off. But that may be coast to coast of Florida. And yes, yes, Raymond. High resolution, rapid refresh. And there's an experimental version of the HRRR that I use as well. So there's a bunch of forecast models that I use. And that does take more time. So depending on the situation, especially for television when you're under the gun, you got to get a time crunch. A lot of these forecast models, when I do a forecast like this, which we really don't have a time limit, I use all of them. Maybe I cut half of the forecast models away for the television job just because there's a time crunch. All right. So we're on the icon again. And is this the same time or almost the same time? Let me get to the correct time. Okay. So these are both 18Z Tuesday, which is about 2 p.m. Look at the difference. That's quite a difference between the GFS and the icon. That's where forecasting becomes a little bit of an art form. And then once that goes, going into Wednesday here, also not really too much of anything going on. So it looks like between the GFS, which again initialized incorrectly, so I already just put that way to the bottom, and the icon, which initialized pretty well, that I keep up on the higher reliability forecasts. So between those two, it looks like the Friday is going to be the worst of the next 7 days, which isn't a bad thing. Also, it's getting kind of hot in here. My air conditioning system, I had it going on like a central air system. Turn studio air conditioner on. I had this going on a automatic system. But I got new, what fixed a lot of the streaming issues, and which may have also, I don't want to jinx it just yet, fixed the app from crashing, was the, didn't actually go on. All right. Or it may just be that switch. I had an automatic system, so when my thermostat, which is Wi-Fi thermostat, read 73 degrees, or we talked about this once before, 73 Fahrenheit. 73 Fahrenheit is 22.78 Celsius, so let's say 23 Celsius. That's when the air conditioner is triggered. Then 68 Celsius or 68 Fahrenheit, which is 20 Celsius, that's when it would go off. And that seemed to work. A lot of the equipment I have in here is temperature sensitive, especially my clarinet, which is a wooden clarinet, and the guitar I have, which is a handcrafted guitar, which wasn't that expensive, but wasn't that cheap either. The clarinet was very expensive. That was in the thousands of dollars range. So I like to keep it here, a nice temperature and humidity controlled environment for all the stuff, even for me. But sometimes that system doesn't work, so I have to manually turn things on and off. So if you hear the air conditioner in the background, I apologize. Let me check the audio. It's ever so slow, ever so light. I'm looking at the live audio levels right now. It's picking it up just a little bit, which isn't really a bad thing. All right, so we got a little bit less than 10 minutes left. So then the last thing we'll just go through here, last forecast model, then I'll take you through my forecast graphics. Is the NAM. So let's rewind the NAM a little bit. We're all the way. And we're gonna go into 0Z, which is 8 p.m. Look at the initialization right there. The NAM initialized properly, which is a good thing. So the way I'm putting this in terms of the initialization, probably the icon first and the NAM very close, and then the GFS is kind of far down. So the icon goes out a good amount. That goes out within a 7-day forecast. The NAM doesn't. So let's see how far we can get out here. So we got the overnight hours. Looks clear for the 4th of July fireworks, which I'm actually thinking I hear some fireworks outside the studio right now. Going into Thursday, here's the picture there. Maybe some, again, that's where the Storm Prediction Center is kind of saying that marginal risk for the north or northwestern 2/3 of the state. Then it breaks up a little bit. Then going into Friday, it does kind of reform here. But look at the NAM. It's not actually as intense when I go into Friday. It's a very thin line. It's intense in certain spots, but it's very thin compared to what we saw with the GFS and even the icon a little bit. And then going into Saturday. Good Saturday. That high pressure is just off to the edge, the high pressure center. But then going into Sunday, and I think that is it. That's as far as the NAM goes out, which is still showing high pressure in place for Sunday. Not that bad. Now, we do have a little bit of time. I'm just going to try and bring up the European right now. So, you're going to see the background disappear for a second. I'm still going to be here. Just because I want to log in. So there, that's actually what I'm seeing right now, just a green wall. I'm going to bring up the European, maybe that Deep Thunder model, just in the last few minutes here. So I got the Euro up, and let's bring up Deep Thunder. So the 18Z run, which is the 2 p.m. run of the Deep Thunder, must have just started plotting, just because it only went out 36 hours. This forecast model does go out 144 hours total. So I had to switch back to the 12Z run. And we'll loop that. Make sure we start at the right time. There we go. And we'll get this also at the right time. Good. And there we go. Background back. Background is back. You know what time is it? All right, so we got a couple of minutes there. So this right here is, actually, let me go on this side. This is the euro. So again, this is also, Raymond, what you were probably saying with the National Weather Service being GFS and Euro huggers. Look at this. That's 8 p.m., which essentially it's 8 p.m. right now. And if I go back to the radar, even the national radar, that's live picture right now. Actually, let me refresh to show you exactly the live picture. So that's the picture of live radar. That is what the euro is showing. So clearly it's off. So again, I put the euro down with the GFS at the bottom of the reliability scale for this. And then we're going through tomorrow. What is this? This is 8 a.m. 12Z. This jumps, it looks like, 6 hours. So it's kind of getting the idea of that marginal risk for that northwest 2/3 of New York State. Okay. I'm interested what it says. I don't know if anybody else sees this, but doesn't this look like a foam finger? Let me see if I can get... There's a thumbnail. All right, so I gotta have a thumbnail for that. That looks like a foam finger. Anyway, that makes its way through. Looks like it could be intense. And then once that's out, let's go into your day on Saturday. Looks fine. Ooh, that jumped way too much. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. 2 p.m. Sunday. 2 p.m. Monday. 2 p.m. Tuesday. Now, this is also hinting a little bit at some evening showers or maybe even a storm for, again, northwestern part of New York State and even going into Pennsylvania a little bit. So maybe a little bit on Tuesday, but let's see about Wednesday. Vastly different picture for Wednesday. Look at this. This is showing a pretty decent low pressure system here and a good amount of rain for Wednesday compared to the icon. Oh, I got rid of the icon. The icon model for Wednesday. It always defaults to the current model run, which is the 120 hour. That's the picture from the icon model for Wednesday. And that's the European picture for the Wednesday. Okay. And then let's go through Deep Thunder. So I started at the right time, then I hit the start button. All right. Initialized very well. Lingering showers, maybe not so much into the lower Hudson Valley, but yeah, it's showing that little cluster in Pennsylvania, which is out there right now. And then going into the overnight hours looks fine. Thursday itself. Again, it's hinting at some extra activity in the northwest 2/3, which is what that marginal risk was showing. And then let's see, going into Friday here, that energy picks up again and kind of reconnects with this cold front, which is going to be bringing some storms through the area. And it really starts to intensify right there, which is 14Z. So through the morning and then going into the afternoon, yeah, this could be some pretty intense storms there, but once that makes its way out, let's go into the, is that as far, that's as far out as this one goes. Saturday, that high pressures, you can see this kind of bubble right there, that's the high pressure. That's coming in for Saturday, so it's setting up the same way as the icon model, which is pretty good. All right, so the last things here. 4th of July fireworks, which is in an hour from now. We are seeing temps pretty steady for New York City specifically. If you are going to the 4th of July, 80 degrees there. Again, Raymond, I know you're near Albany. Albany's warmer just because it's in the extra sunlight. Still going to be warm, and I mean, it's still going to be humid too, so it's not going to be the best feeling, but it's definitely going to feel like summer. Wind's also not too bad. Then the overnight hours, we are going to be seeing some patchy fog. May see some haze, or if you see the moon out a little hazy moon. Overnight low around 72. Again, the winds aren't too bad. And then going into tomorrow, yeah, we could get near 90 degrees, especially in areas in New Jersey. Yeah, so we got some morning sun, but then those storms come rolling through again in the afternoon, which is more so in the northwest part of New York State, which is where that marginal risk was from. Winds still not terrible. Tomorrow night, scattered storms, maybe some flash flooding, especially if the storms start a little bit earlier. That's a bit of a question mark. That's why I left the question mark there. Winds are starting to change as well. And then on the 7-day forecast, let's start out here. Going into Friday, this is, yeah, we're going to see the heat starting to break. And again, severe storms are going to be possible for the afternoon hours. But when we go into Saturday, it looks very nice. Going into Sunday looks very nice. Monday, it still looks very nice, but it's starting to heat up again. So your weekend right there, this is going to be a top 10 weekend. If you have any plans for this weekend, it's going to be great. And these overnight lows aren't terrible. In the low 60s, very comfortable. So if you're doing anything outside overnight on the weekend, it's going to be great. Then going into Tuesday, this is again where we may have a little isolated shower here and there. Now, for Wednesday, I am leaving this with the, not the NAM because they didn't go out that far, the Icon model and the Deep Thunder model. Just maybe a little passing cloud there, nothing really too much. But yeah, we start to heat up upper 80s to about 90 degrees for Wednesday. So that is pretty much it. I'm going to end this now because the 4th of July fireworks show is starting. Let's all get to there. If you enjoyed, definitely hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're just watching this for the first time when it's archived, don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more footage of the drone stuff that we were talking about. Also, I have more weather updates, more car stuff, and I have my usual gaming stuff. So again, this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great evening. Again, happy 4th of July. Ooh. Happy birthday, America. Have a great evening. Please stay safe if you're doing anything with the fireworks. And I'll see you guys in the next one.